Alrighty, today I'm driving a very special car. It's a 2022 911 992 generation Targa 4S with the manual transmission. What's special about this car, apart from being a Targa, which is quite a rare model anyway, is that it has over $60,000 worth of options on it. So later in this video I'll go over all of those options. Some of them are quite neat options, others are a little bit, I don't know, pointless. But yeah, $60,000, making this a $200,000 911. Pretty cool. So yes, the Targa models. I haven't driven a Targa for a while, so let's talk a little bit about Targas. Targas are the partial roof convertible models, you know, for people that want open top motoring but don't want the full convertible. This is a really neat option. Yeah, the Targas have a great look about them. I really love the look of the Targas, and I think that's a lot of the reason why people will buy a Targa over a convertible, is because of the look. The convertibles have a bit of a hump back at the back, whereas the Targa has beautiful lines on it. But the Targa is a very rare model within the 911 range. Very few allocations are ever put forward for the Targas, so they are rare, which means they're also valued on the used market. You generally see Targas, Targa 4s and Targa 4S's worth a lot more on the used market. Oh, and the GTS Targas as well. And the overall look and mechanism of the Targa top remains the same from the previous generation, the 991.1, with some slight alterations to reduce buffering. But generally you still get the little spoiler at the top, and it's a really nice mechanism that when this mechanism first came out, everybody predicted that because it's so complicated it would be a nightmare to maintain, but they're proven to be quite reliable. So yeah, it's a nice mechanism as well. There are some downsides to having a Targa, of course, the biggest one being the weight. Officially from Porsche, the weight is 300 pounds more than a standard coupe model. However, if you weigh them, they always end up being closer to 400 pounds more, which is a significant increase in weight. Yeah, a bit like adding Steven Seagal, a recliner chair, and a fat baby to your 911. And that weight is above the center line as well. So the Targa is the only 911 which you'll see that exhibits a little bit of body roll. See if I can show you. So yeah, if I force it from side to side like this, yeah, it exhibits just a little bit of body roll, despite the fact that this car also has PDCC, Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control, which is Porsche's fancy way of stopping body roll. And even with the PDCC, you'll still see a bit of body roll just because of that 300-400 pounds of extra weight up high. So yeah, it's very rare to see body roll in a 911 with or without PDCC, but with the Targas, because of that extra weight, you do see it a little bit. You certainly probably wouldn't want this car as a track car. So generally you'll see every Targa optioned with PDCC for that reason, and that's also the reason why Targas always are all-wheel drive cars. You'll never see a rear-wheel drive Targa, because Porsche wants the added safety of all-wheel drive in these top heavier 911 models. But generally speaking, the extra weight of the Targa isn't really noticed in day-to-day driving. It's still a magnificent beast to drive. Just like any of these new generation 911s, they are just a wonder to drive. And I've actually got the top up. I started this review with the top down, but I figured all the wind noise might make it a little harder to hear me, so I put it up. But yeah, with the top down, even on a freezing day like today, the air in the cabin stays fairly calm, and you can actually drive. Like today is a 0 degrees Celsius day, and I was still perfectly comfortable driving with the top down. Yes, for those of you that are fans of top down driving in sports cars, this is a very attractive proposition, the Targa. And I think it's just a beautiful model, and made more desirable because of how rare they are as well. And another option this car has got, of course, is the sports exhaust, which is on, and I really love the sound. Is that growl from the exhaust. I just can't get enough of it. And as I've said in many other videos, if you're a manual transmission guy, you're going to be super happy with the manual transmission and the 992 generation. It really is something special. A magic transmission, possibly the best manual transmission on the market at the moment, perhaps ever. It is really something special and really adds something to the driving experience of a sports car. Okay, so while I could drive this delicious bit of Targa-ness all day, let's have a look at the remarkable amount of options that are on this car. As I said at the start, around just over $60,000 worth of options, which is not easy to do, makes this a very expensive Targa, almost $200,000. So let's start with the fact that it's a Targa 4S, already an expensive model, $137,000 base price. So let's jump into its options. The first option being its color, night blue metallic. Sadly, this color finally has died. They've taken it off the 911s. This becomes a PTS color from now on. You have to pay big money for it. I've actually owned 2 cars, possibly 3. I don't know whether my current 911 is this color as well. Yeah, it's a dark blue. It's beautiful, particularly in the sunlight. Really a lovely color. Now, if you want a darker blue, you get Gentine, which is sort of between dark blue and light blue, which is a nice color as well. But yeah, sadly, this is the last of the dark blue 911s we'll see. The next option is an expensive one, full leather, with the chalk stitching. So chalk stitching in the back, front, along the dashboard, along the doors. It gives a bit of contrast to the black leather. Yeah, $3,830. It's an expensive option, but popular. Full leather is popular, and the stitching really, you know, I'm a big fan of a bit of deviator stitching, as you know. Next is rear axle steering, $2,090. Very popular option. I don't know that it's a necessary option. It does help with the turning circle of the car, and does help with when the car's at its limit with the steering, and people swear by this being the best option ever. But I've also noticed that a lot of people can't tell whether a car's got it or not when they drive it. So not a necessary option, but yeah, a fun option nonetheless. Next is sports exhaust system with the exclusive design tailpipes in silver, $3,380. Well, yep, you can press the button, you hear the different exhaust note. Very popular option, and yeah, I like the look of the twin pipes on this generation. Very rare to see a car without the sports exhaust these days. The next option, one of the most expensive options, carbon ceramic brakes. It used to be sold as a track option to stop the brakes from overheating, but more and more I notice that people actually take the carbon ceramic brakes off their 911s and put the steel brakes back on if they're tracking their cars, because they can, you know, the carbon ceramics are so expensive to replace, and there's so many options with the steel brakes that this really isn't a track option. So what are the carbon ceramics doing for you? Well, they're keeping the brake dust off the wheels. That's the main reasons people seem to get them, and they do lower the weight of the wheels a little bit as well, but really it's the brake dust. So yeah, pay $10,000 to keep brake dust off your wheels. Some people are willing to do that. Okay, next one is an interesting one that I always tell people never to get, but in this case it actually works on this car. Wheels painted in exterior color. Now this really only works if you've got a very dark colored car. So as you can see, the wheels are matching the exterior color, and because it's not the whole wheel painted, it doesn't look so ghetto. Yeah, I think this actually works in this car. This is one exception to the rule where I think painted wheels actually look pretty cool, don't you think? So next is another very popular option just on the Targas, because it's there to reduce body roll, the Porsche dynamic chassis control. Yeah, normally I would not recommend this option for most people. It is standard on the Turbo S, and it's pretty much standard on the Targas. Most Targas will have this, as I said, just because of that extra weight above the center line. It's helping stop the body roll that these cars tend to exhibit. The downside to Porsche dynamic chassis control is that it can produce a little bit of motion sickness, particularly in passengers. William gets motion sickness. Yeah, I've noticed that. A lot of people complain to me, oh, Nick, I own my new Cayenne, or I own my new blah, 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 but my kids are always car sick in it. Do you have Porsche dynamic chassis control? Yeah, I do. That's the problem. Disable that and the problem goes away. I don't know what it is, something about the unnatural movement of the system. Yeah, that's a downside to it, but yeah. PDCC, very popular in the Targa and helps, you know, reduce that body roll. Next, $500 for the steering column in leather. Yeah, it just gets rid of that plasticky thing you can see in your eyesight. Certainly popular in the 911s. I've had it in my cars before. Yeah, and you don't get the stitching because the stitching reflects on the dashboard. So they've done it right here. You've got the leather, but no deviator stitching. Another expensive option is the $3,240 front fascia, sport design front fascia. Just a different look to the front, same as the GTS look. Yeah, so yeah, it's just a taste thing, whether you like it or not. Yeah, I quite like the front fascia. Not so keen on the rear fascia though. $1,270 gets you the GT sports wheel with the carbon fiber. So this car's got a lot of carbon fiber, so this matches it. yeah, I like the new GT Sports wheel. It's yeah, it's a nice feel to it, and it's the carbon fibre does match well with the rest of the interior. Next, for those of you that enjoy taking a large pile of money and setting it on fire, is seat backs in leather with carbon fibre inlay, $2,590. I guess this is so your soft toy gorilla can rub his nose on carbon fibre. What an egregious waste of money. Front axle lift fell. This is not something I get to demonstrate very often. It's pretty cool that it's in this car. Yeah, certainly I noticed this is older generation drivers tend to get this. I don't think the 911 needs front axle lift in most cases. If you've got a very steep driveway with a high angle of attack, definitely you'll need this, but otherwise day-to-day driving, speed bumps and so forth, you do not need front axle lift. But here, I'll demonstrate it to you, how it goes up and down, and with this new generation it can be programmed to automatically go up and down based on GPS coordinates. So if you're always having to go up and down at a certain point, this you can make it do it automatically, which is pretty cool. $160 gets you the exclusive design fuel cap that no one ever sees, it's there for you, so maybe it's worth $160. It does look a little better, I guess, than the black standard fuel cap, but most people don't care. $1,490 gets you the 930 leather package, which is this detailing in the leather here. $290 gets you the Porsche crest on the headrest, popular option. $2,630 gets you the 21-inch Carrera exclusive design wheels, and in this case they got painted as well, as we know. I like these wheels. They're yeah, they're a clean design, matches the painted detail as well. Yeah, really something special on this car. $2,100 gets you the full matte carbon fiber interior, as we have seen with the steering wheel. This just adds more carbon fiber, which I like. You know, it's a slightly different design to the previous ones. It's less plasticky. It's yeah, it's nice, the new carbon fiber. It doesn't quite match the mirrors, is the only thing I don't like, is the carbon fiber mirrors look quite different than the carbon fiber interior, but maybe that's just my OCD speaking. $720 gets you the rear grille vertical slots in exterior color. Personally, I think this is a complete waste of money. No one will ever notice this. $700 you could probably save right there. Center console lid with Porsche crest, also $340 down here. $340 also gets you the stone guard on the rear fenders in black. $1,630 gets you the exterior mirrors in carbon fiber. As I said before, it's a nice option to have with the rest of the carbon fiber, but it doesn't quite match the other carbon fiber, which is a little odd to me. $420 gets you the exclusive design tail lights, the clear lights, and the clear center light, much like you see in the GTS models. $350 gets you the model designation on the back, painted the same color as the car. Of course. $540 gets you the seatbelts colored, as you must have, in chalk. Lots of other colors optional as well. I don't know, just brightens up the interior, I guess. A free option is the wonderful manual transmission with the very light clutch, which also gets you the sports chrono as well. To me, a must-have on a sports car, but I can understand people getting the PDK as well. But yeah, man, I am just in love, in love with the manual transmissions on the 992. It would be the only way I would go. If for no other reason, then the value of the car holds so much better with the manual transmission. Yeah, they're really something. But maybe you can't drive manual transmission, you'll get the PDK. Maybe drive a lot in traffic, get the PDK, but get the manual, it's the best. $3,470 gets you the 18-way seats. Also gets you the memory package here and the electronic moving steering column. Yeah, the 18-way seats are definitely the most comfortable seats, and I think a really good looking seat as well. They're expensive, but yeah, if you're going to be doing a lot of driving, it's worth spending the money for the very best seats. Disappointingly, the next option is $160, the Porsche puddle lights, which in bright sunlight it's very hard to see. But yeah, when it's dark, it just looks ridiculous. Don't do this to your car, people. I've told you. $1,290. This gets you the sport design side skirts. Nice. $90 gets you the door sills in dark silver brushed aluminium that light up. I did this in one of my cars. I will never do it again. What a stupid option. And then finally, $5,000 for the premium package, which includes the Bose, the ambient lighting, lane change assist, power folding mirrors, storage package, and the ventilated seats. So yeah, that is it. That's about $60,000 worth of options on this magnificent beast. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. The Targa is a really lovely car to drive. I can certainly understand why people would want it. It just looks better than the convertible, I think, but still with the top-down experience. Yeah, really a special car, but incredibly hard to get. You know, they just make so few of them. But yeah, this one is a special model, as I say, because of the options, because it's a manual transmission. Yeah, very happy to get to drive this today. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's my quick review of the Targa 4S. A lot of you are asking me to drive the GTS, which I will do, the 911 GTS, because every other YouTuber on the planet has gone and driven one and said how wonderful it is, and Nick Murray must be wrong. And you know, I'm probably wrong. You know, I'm probably wrong. What I'm trying to answer is simply, is the GTS any more fun or any better in any way than an S? You're paying over 20 grand more for the GTS. Is it a better car in any way? So, because that's the question I want to answer, I want to have both an S and a GTS and drive them back to back and show you guys the differences so you can decide for yourself. Is the GTS model really worth $20,000 more than an S model? So I'm waiting to get both cars before I do that video. So hopefully soon enough we'll have a GTS and an S side by side, and we can take them out and compare them. And finally today, if you feel like you need more Tui, Smudge, or God forbid Nick Murray in your life, come and join me at my Instagram account, DroppedBaby1. I post there 2 or 3 times a week, lots of nonsense. And of course, if your car is a dirty dog because of this endless winter, don't forget to get yourself the Rapid Dry Mark 1 washing and the Rapid Dry towel, and get your car cleaned in 5 minutes flat. I recommend these products because I use them every day myself, not just on my car, but on my dogs as well. Anyway, thanks for watching as always. William and I enjoyed driving the Targa, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye then.